Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Dad's Doomsday Guide. This is our first live streaming show we've done. It's late. Tim and I are trying it out. We're going to see how it goes. We want to talk about UFOs, but first, let's have a little intro, shall we, Tim? Does that sound good?
Yeah, I can't even get my lighting correct here.
Tim's set looks like ass. His
Too much
lighting.
stuff in the background. I have no room.
Well,
for
this was
anything.
very last minute, so we decided to give it a try because we want to start doing more live streams versus recorded podcasts. It's just easier. You record it, it is what it is, and it's out and it's done. So we're going to try to do this more often. Getting dads to come talk about anything that we want to talk about. So we'll have guests on every now and then, but it's not always going to be a formal guest like we have been doing, because honestly, I'm just super busy and it's really hard to talk to people and try to coordinate schedules. I mean, we'll still do that, but it'll be a little more spread out.
It's usually at midnight or 1 a.m.
Well, I've
shoved myself in a corner with look at all this stuff. I mean, I can't even find.
Don't pan anymore to the right because we don't want to see your bed.
Everybody.
Hey, let's do. Did it get screwed up? Let's do a little intro, shall we? Let's do it.
Shall.
This is an emergency broadcast. This is not a test.
That name has great power over them.
It looked like a shadow moving back and forth.
You're in a fight for your life.
And we try to help figure out, were they poisoned and such? And
so it's already mutated.
It's like standing on the edge of a black hole.
Welcome to the Dad's Doomsday Guide. Doom.
Yeah. Yeah, we're back. All right, so let's chat for the time that we are live about UFOs. So if no one's been aware of what's going on, UFOs have been in the hot item for, I don't know. When did this all kick off? I can't even remember. When was it was the New York Times story, but then you had a lull and really nobody was talking about it. And then it kicked off again and got really, I guess, leading up to the report.
2017 is when it started. And then it started really, 2000, like the end of during COVID is when it really started to kick off again, when they started talking about it. I think Elizondo started talking about it, and then the UFO report was supposed to come out. But that was during the COVID times when, everybody was locked down.
Where did Elizondo, for those who don't know, it's Luis Elizondo. He was a former head of ATIP, right?
Yep.
And I would be guessing, I've heard it a million times, but Advanced Aerospace, what is it? I don't even know. What is it? Anomalous? I don't even know. I don't even remember what it stands for anymore. But basically, they're tasked to look at UFOs.
I don't know.
No, I don't think it was.
That's what I
but they were supposed to look at UFOs and all the UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon. The government's gone back and forth since early on, saying that it existed, then it didn't exist. Anyway, so he was running the program, but it's funny. I can't even recall where he came from. Where did he just popped out of the blue one day, or he was on, what was that show?
I've been reading a lot of things on him and other people. I probably am going to get this wrong. I think it's they've been around for a little while, but it just started gaining momentum. It takes a while for things to gain momentum. I think him talking and describing what had happened, I think it just took a little bit to catch on. But they were with another group before him, and I think Chris Mellon. And then it took off from there, and I'm not sure what spawned it into what it is now initially. I mean, it might have been that report, the 2017
I'm pretty sure
article.
I'm pretty sure it was the report that kicked it off, because I didn't really hear much about it after the New York Times story, and then all of a sudden it happened. So kind of getting into that, do you believe this shit?
Who, me?
Well, for people, I guess, yeah, me, Tim, and another friend of ours, Darius, who's been on the show a few times, and we'll probably drag him on this at some point. But we've been nonstop texting, talking, and discussing about UFOs, about whether we believe it or not. And our friend Darius, he's a chemist, PhD, research papers. So it's good because he's kind of like the person who does not believe that much. He's still very much on the fence.
We're getting him to believe it more now.
Well, we sent him today. What we send him? We sent him
blasting with articles and videos constantly.
Yeah, we sent him about was it Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana? I'm guessing where it was, but basically the UFOs were seen. They came over missile silos, shut down the nukes, and caused like a mass panic. And this was back in 1967. So funny enough, I don't know if he was just jerking her chain, but like this is the first thing we sent him today that actually he stopped and was like, oh, that's kind of cool, or that's kind of creepy.
Yeah, because when you put all the totality of all of it together, from the 40s, 50s, whatever the time period is, it's pretty creepy.
Well, there's an argument that like today's tech is responsible for some of it, right? Russia, China, our black programs, like something's going on that kind of can explain away some of these sightings, but it's more problematic when you go back into the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, because none of this shit existed. You didn't have it. So if you're seeing what they would say today as like a supersonic drone or something, it's like, no, that wasn't around in the 40s and 50s.
Well, there's no such thing as a supersonic drone. It doesn't exist.
They're testing them, right? They're trying to.
I don't think you can. I'm hearing no, but because drones are electric.
Yeah, they were talking about that one interview we saw with Elizondo and the astronaut. What was his name? We just watched it.
I can't remember his name.
But dude's been to space and everything, and he was talking. They were discussing how long a drone can stay in the air, battery life, and basically long. No. Well, he said there's like a taxi service that he's investing in. They're trying to get it to where you can actually start like moving things and people. It was really interesting. But he said like there's a ton of money being poured into that, and they still aren't even close to having like long flight times. It was a trade-off. They said it's either you can go hundreds, thousands of miles with one of those like Predator drones, that we use in like the military to bomb
those
things.
Fly. Those aren't like a drone that's like hovers and stops someone. This is like opposite. I have to move my hand to the left to go. It's weird. It's like a mirrored effect.
But yeah, it's like they have to keep moving straight. If they stop, they're done. They don't have that capability. They don't have like the fuel usage and stuff and like the weight and the lift. It was like interesting conversation. They said if you want to go to something that can sustain and just hover over something for long periods of time, like they're trying to blame these triangles that people are seeing, like the video in China.
Did you watch that one I just sent you? So that fighter pilot?
No.
He breaks down the Corbell videos of the lights, and then another one in Puerto Rico that's similar to what they saw.
Oh, I saw that one. Oh, by the way, my shirt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't wear mine. I got to wear mine.
It glows in the dark, folks.
But watch that one. It actually breaks it down. It lets off some weird...
It's split, right?
It's split, but that also let off lights, like the Corbell video with the lights, the actual lights.
You mean the video where he's like spinning the camera around is like super blurry? Or he's not, but whoever filmed it is?
No, the lights, the little lights in the sky? The one
you mean the green night vision one? Or the one he just released?
The colored one, the normal video with lights you see?
Yeah, I have to look at it again because the one he sent from like the Omaha or whatever, it looked like ass.
The one he just did, literally.
Yeah, it looked like ass. I hated that one.
But that one is actually what people saw in the Puerto Rico one too. The one that's split into two. They saw the lights like similar, same thing, and then it went dark when it came over land, and then they did all this crazy stuff. And they caught it on radio. Who
shot the Puerto Rico one?
I think it was.
Is it drug runners?
No. It was. I'm gonna get this wrong. I think it was a DEA or somebody with the government was flying, and they were. I don't remember, but it was government.
But it was the FLIR footage, right?
And they saw it, and they were like, "We're gonna capture that," and so they did the.
Is it the forward-looking infrared?
Yep.
And so, if people haven't seen the video, it's moving around an airport, and then the thing goes, and it looks relatively small. I think that he conjectured about or did some measurements to try to see how big it was, but then the thing goes toward the water. Into the water, keeps going under the water, pops back up again, and then splits into two pieces. So the whole time you're watching this thing, you're like, "Oh, that easily looks like a drone or something."
So they did
moving.
They did an investigation. He breaks it down. I forgot. Why am I drawing a blank of his name right now?
The YouTube dude.
Remember, I've sent you videos on him too. I just sent it to you. Look it up.
Yeah, I'll look. I'll just look it up.
I don't have access to my cell phone at the moment.
Well, I got to click on this link. It's going to start playing probably on me. Chris Leto?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
So he's an ex-military Air Force guy, right?
Yeah, he does good videos. And he broke that one down and broke down a report that they did on that for like a year or two that these scientists did. And they were like, I don't know.
Well, he said people were trying to blame it on being a Chinese lantern or some stupid thing. And it's like, dude, that's not...
No.
He should have pictured
one. But it's a very good video, and he breaks down the Corbell video that just happened to some other guy. I don't know where this other video came from. and the same lights, like this pattern of these lights, same thing. So whatever they're doing, they're lighting off a weird light pattern for sure.
The problem is with Corbell's second video.
Well, they're not. It's not.
Looks.
It's not FAA lights. They're not drone lights.
Well, it looks terrible. So it gives people who it's literally fodder.
You just got to know what you're looking at.
But it's fodder for debunkers because it's everything that they hate about it. It's blurry, it's shaky.
That's just tied into the black and white footage of the pyramids. It's the same footage.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Is that if he has other data, because he was getting kind of hot with some interview that the guy was saying, well, can't those be drones or something, or like bokeh effect from the lens? Or he's like, no, it's on radar. They're pyramid shaped. They have their elevation, they have their speed, they have everything. They were tracking everything. But see, most people like me, when I watch that, I don't know that. I don't have that data. And that's the problem with most of this stuff. It's like, it's classified. It's in government hands. Why you
just watch him get interviewed and you're good.
But it's like but my problem is, and I'll play devil's advocate here to you, is like, it's kind of like a debate. And we're watching two sides say, well, I have this data or I have this data, but we don't see any of it. We never get to see any of it. And it drives me crazy because it's like, well, how many more years? They spent 75 years since the 40s or the 50s covering it up, if it indeed is indeed true.
But they spent all 75 years covering it up. It's not. It's it's never been like this to where it's like, oh yeah, the government's admitting they never admitted it.
But how easy could it be for them to just drag it out another 75 years?
Not now, because he already admitted that there's things in the sky we can't explain. So you can't say that.
Well,
and then go back to say, oh yeah, no, you can't go backwards now.
Well, just there's
too much momentum going in that direction. Between pilots saying stuff, between ex-government officials saying stuff, and in the past, the past 50 years, all these people are coming out saying, oh yeah, like Roswell's true. That's another one I want to look more into.
We'll see that,
so you just have too many people now that are on the other end. You have like 4 skeptics, and everybody else is like, "Yep, I believe."
Well, that's the thing. Okay, so we can get into that a little bit. Is for me the most striking out of everybody who has said like, "Oh, hold on a second, there might be something to this," is Sam Harris, and
him and then these other scientists too.
Well, if you don't know who Sam Harris is, I mean, I think he's a neuroscientist, but he's like a hardcore atheist and a hardcore, like, just hates superstitious stuff, hates that whole, it thinks it's poisonous all the way around. So for him to come out on 3 different podcasts, 3 different times, he stopped and said, hey, I have this person who's contacted me. They want to know how basically to break it to the public and not freak everybody out. And what it sounds like, I mean, I don't think he's seen stuff yet. Maybe he has, or whoever his source is in the government, for him to come out and say that must be really solid to come out and say something like that. That's, can make you look really stupid if later down the road it turns out to be a big fat nothing. So for him to come out and say this stuff, that made me stop and go like, what the hell? Like, how many people?
He was very specific in what this person said to him too. It wasn't just,
Yeah, I think his wording was basically like, this could totally, when the next shoe drops, that was a term he used, it's going to make everybody stop, even like the doubters and the scientists, and go like, there's going to be no doubt.
On the side of actually supporting it, or you're going to be left in the dust.
Looking like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
I can't.
He's being silly. He's being a silly goose.
I can't stand that dude. And I used to like him. I used to like his delivery, he's like very calm, very like easy. He had a talent of making something complicated, making it easy, and then giving it to the public. And I think that's kind of the role he took on.
Yeah.
But man, he's pissing me off. And it's not even that, like, I don't know if there's aliens. I'm not like walking in there going, yeah, for sure. Like, let's go and like do all this conspiracy theory stuff. Like, I really don't know.
I'm pretty sure now there's something there.
You've bought in.
Yeah.
You've bought in.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look, what is that other journalist who listened to? I can't remember his name.
The interview I sent you?
The one from Australia?
Dude, that was
just listening to him alone is going to make you like 50%, 60%, maybe 60, 70.
His name is Ross Coulthart. I
think it's Coulthart.
But
him plus everything else I've been listening to, yes, there's definitely something there.
I'm gonna.
You can't deny that. So on Tyson's little extreme, there's nothing. It's a bunch of mistakes and malfunctions. Like, shut up.
I'm gonna see if I can
hear your voice anymore. I'm
gonna hold on. Interview. I can get my spelling correctly. I'm gonna see if I can. What? Sorry, guys. I'm still.
Are you playing it or no?
I'm still trying to figure out like what I'm doing with view event. How do I enable chat? What is going on?
You should just be able to like play.
I'm trying to post a link to the interview with the Ross guy because it was so
Yeah.
good, and I'm trying. And it's telling me
Well,
activate chat. Please enable channels. Guys, what is that? Offline. What is going on? Toggle on. I'm really sorry. Oh wait, is that some like other thing? This is like no, this is like dead air. Nothing's
you
happening.
Figure that out.
The conversation's grinded to a halt. I'm trying to use a software called what is it? Restream
anyway,
or
while you
whatever.
figure that out, I completely am in the camp of yes, I believe something's up. There's a cover up of some kind. They're hiding something for sure, and that's from listening to just I probably listened to a good 5 days of straight interviews and podcasts and articles between reading and watching, you know. So I'm not into that field of like before this I was like, probably not. But now I'm like, oh yes, there is. There's just too many high ranking, reputable people that will have their reputation absolutely destroyed if they're talking gibberish. And there's just too many people now that are saying really legitimate things about what has happened and what the government's doing. You know, I mean, everybody knows who they are, but it's not nonsense. You know, it's just not. And I'm not talking about nutcases. I'm talking about legitimate individuals that they have a career and they have a reputation they don't want to destroy. So why would you come out and say all this crazy stuff if you can't back it up and if it's not true? You know, nobody's gonna just spout nonsense if it isn't true. I mean, some people will, but they're not going to be these type of individuals. You know.
Here's the problem with that, though, is that
there's no problem with that.
The government, the government lied for so long, and they used people for so long.
Yeah, but look at all the people back through time that when the government was lying, they're like, no, this is actually what happened. I mean, from Roswell on.
Is it that out of the question though that they would be able to basically use people like the Luis Elizondo and all these other people to go out and spin a narrative and like get you thinking about something and have like it's possible.
No, I'm not even entertaining that. There's just too much. There's too much throughout time that are supporting what he's saying. It's not like you're not having people coming out going, oh yeah, you know, I sent you that quote, I think. Somebody went, yeah, you know, I hate to break it, but it's a weather balloon or whatever it is. You know, nobody's coming out
one
saying
said that.
Everybody's the opposite and saying, no, this is actually what happened. And it's not just one person that's doing it. It's multiple people that are doing it. I just can't get into that. Oh yeah,
I would grant you that. Yeah, I'm like 60, 40, 70, 30 that I believe this is something like non-human.
I'm like 90.
I'm reserving
right now.
Yeah, but it's just too weird. Like how
of course it's weird.
How lucky do you think you or me or our generation or the people alive today out of all of human history, we're going to be the ones that where aliens are identified as being like watching us and for who knows how long. Like, I just find that so hard to believe. Life is so boring.
But it's got to happen.
From the time we're born,
and who knows? It probably, boring. Maybe it happened before. Maybe it happened before, you know, like 17th century or whatever. I mean, I'm sure these have been around longer than 70 years.
Well, if you look at Jacques Vallée's work, he has the whole book, Wonder in the Sky, like documents through all religious texts. And we were kind of going crazy, like looking at old religious paintings. And like, there's literally Jesus is like on the wall crucified. And like, there's like something in the sky in the back corner. It looks like a UFO. It looks like a saucer. And you're just like, what? I mean, yeah, it's artwork and somebody painted it. But like, why are you painting that? And then there's remember the old guy with a dog on like the cliff edge in the background, and he's like looking up at it. It's just like, whoa, that's bizarre. And this is like hundreds and hundreds of years old. And you're like,
there was one with Mary, and there was also two objects. They talked about that on Rogan too, I think.
Rogan's had it, and he's shown they're like in two spheres with like almost like a flame or like contoured coming out the back, and it is really weird. And if you kind of total up everything throughout history, it all can't be a black ops program, a weather balloon, a drone, a natural weird thing you saw.
Fat birds.
Yeah, I mean, the geese
birds.
thing was funny. People are trying to push the geese narrative. I mean, I think that just like Jacques Vallée said, 90% of it, 95% of it can be explained. But I think there's like a 5% like the Fravor thing, where it's just like, what the hell is that? And you
Yeah,
can't
there's
tell.
a lot of that.
That's what pissed me off about Dyson. He was Dyson, the vacuum. Tyson is that he immediately, instead of analyzing the evidence or studying the evidence or the data, he dismissed it. He didn't even. Maybe he looked at it. Maybe he's talking to someone in the government. Maybe he's out there trying to spin a narrative for the government. Who knows? But he immediately said, I think it was Rogan talking to him, but he was on like Sam Harris and a bunch of other ones, and it just like started pissing me off listening to it. Immediately he said, "Oh, people see stuff wrong all the time." Talking about Fravor. It's like, okay, what? And then now you have multiple sensors picking it up. Well, sensors are wrong. Was it 80,000 feet? Like as soon as it blew his mind, like it was outside of the realm of what he's used to. It's like, oh, it must be wrong. And I was like, that's so backwards.
He's got a giant ego, and he's
okay.
Right
Open-minded scientist, you ass. Like it pissed me off so much.
But you can see that's who he is, though. He's always right.
Yeah.
I mean, even on other topics, I listened to him on Rogan. He overtalked Rogan a few times on just other. I don't even remember what the topics were, but he would overtalk him. He's just that guy. Like, this is my opinion, and I'm right. That's who he is. That's why he's in the field he's in, because he's like, my opinion's right. So I don't like people like that. And so I don't even listen to him anymore. It's just childish the way he's acting. So
can you imagine if he's right though?
But
can you imagine if it comes out and like, oh, this was all a weather balloon? His head is gonna swell to a size.
No, it's not. He's disappointing. I've totally lost any sort of respect for him, so I don't even listen to him anymore. Normally
he gets a lot of hate, but I've never seen him get this much hate.
It's a lot.
Like, oh, that's a lot, and it's not even that you have to believe it's an alien, because like I said,
he's just pissing off of the scientists too. So.
Well, yeah, he's not even. You're not entertaining. You're not even looking at the data and going, "Hey, the government's acknowledging that something's happening. It's been happening for a really long time, and we don't know what it is." Like at a minimal level, it's another country.
Even like it's
figure
one
it out.
Fighter pilot. It's multiple fighter pilots, and he's like the top gun fighter pilot on top of that. And then it's multiple pilots throughout history too. It's not just like 4 or 5 now. It's like I don't even know how many, but it's a bunch all the way to the 40s. So now you're going to discredit all them, and then all the radar controllers, and then on top of that, some people that probably have seen them. I think a bunch of cops saw some once. Well,
satellite cops have seen it. Satellite imagery.
So if you put all of those people together, all the really with important jobs, and then you just say, nah, they see things. Like, really? You think every single one of them saw things? Come on, man. Yeah. And then all the radar controllers are a bunch of idiots too.
Well,
and all the equipment's malfunctioning everywhere. Like,
that's what makes me
shut up.
60, 40, 70, 30 believing, is because like just the odds. People keep saying it. For UFOs to be real, for them to be non-human, all it takes is one. But all the doubters and all the debunkers, they have to be right every single time for every single example that's happened and is going to happen.
Yeah.
And the odds just aren't. And this the talk about egocentric that Tyson tried to say that about people thinking that aliens would come visit us. It was such a stupid.
Can you pause me real
reason.
quick? Can you pause me?
Where are you going?
Right back.
Oh, should we do like a be right back button?
Yeah, be right back. Do you have a be right back button?
I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Ready?
Go.
Go. That's helpful. And he's back in his seat. What'd you run and do?
Nothing.
Did you do a drive-by pee?
Whatever I had to do, I didn't have to do.
I don't know what I was saying. But Tyson, it was about Tyson being just dismissive of evidence. But I wanted to get to the point about the Ross interview, is what he was discussing satellite imagery and Radcliffe. I wish I should have been prepared and had like people's name, like titles down. But Radcliffe,
pretty good. I like.
He was like director of intelligence. Was that his position under the Trump administration? Everybody's fave, and he mentioned in passing satellite data, and everybody was kind of like, "Whoa, what? We haven't really seen any of that yet." And satellite data, for people who haven't looked at it, is very coveted because some of the high resolution, what we're able to do spying on other countries, it's like they don't want to let much out in that regard at all. Like they
I
want
don't
to keep
think it's
it
low
pretty tight.
resolution. I don't think we have such thing as low. There'd be no point
No,
of a low
I mean,
resolution
no, I'm
satellite.
saying maybe I misspoke because I wasn't listening to myself, but it's very high resolution, but they'll degrade it when they release images to the public. So it's like a
Oh,
low
yeah, yeah.
res. So people think like, oh, and other countries go, oh, well, they can't see what we're really doing. But it's like gnarly how crazy and accurate and
Oh, yeah.
sharp the real images are. So to think that nothing is being picked up if these things are coming from 80,000 feet, like
Of
the
course
Tic
it
Tacs
is.
were documented.
Of course it is.
But the Ross
that stuff's all going to be classified, though. They're not going to release that.
But the Ross guy said there's a term for
Ross
them.
guy?
Ross Cawthorn.
Oh, yeah.
He Cawthorn. He said that they have a term for the ones coming out of space that the satellites are picking up.
Yeah.
And they're called fast walkers.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool and kind of creepy, kind of cool. But he said they'll come in front of the satellite, so the satellite to pick them up. They'll stop on like a dime, and then they'll go the other direction, like a sharp 90-degree turn, and then they'll kind of zigzag down their way into the atmosphere. And it's like, what is that? So I don't know.
Dude, that alone by itself is like, yep. Aliens,
So then,
like that'll just.
Yeah, I mean, what else is it then?
100%.
I mean,
nothing else it could be.
Another country or the U.S. would have to have such amazing technology that, like, literally is light years ahead of everybody else, and just not. Everybody's talked about it. Everybody's said, like, hey, there's no way China's stealing our secrets all the time. There's no way, Russia is in front of us in the billions of dollars and the spying that we do. I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, like theoretically or statistically, but it's probably not true.
I think we have back engineered.
Okay.
Craft or
okay.
Or both. It's alien,
Lazar.
it's alien and it's back engineered to some degree.
I don't.
Or we have wreckage or something. Pretty sure we do.
I don't.
Good.
I mean, for the reason.
There's no reason, dude. Neither one of us know. I'm just saying I think I do. You're saying you think you don't. Neither one of us know for sure. But
no,
everything that journalist said we have, he thinks we do.
Did he say crafts though, or did he say
material, crafts, whatever
material.
It is? I think we have one or the other or both.
Yeah. I don't know. I think having that, it's such a hard secret to keep if you have craft just sitting in a hangar. No, how would you keep that secret though?
You hide it
for 70 years.
You can hide whatever you want, man.
I could believe more like pieces. Like you got metal and
pieces,
shit.
You can hide whatever you want as long as you want.
How do you believe they have alien bodies?
Oh, I don't know.
That's
one thing I'd literally have to see in person to be convinced.
I'd have to see a ship in person too, though, to be honest.
But that thing splitting in two going in the water, I mean, what is that?
I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like if you're gonna have.
But what is that? That's weird as hell.
All this data.
What is that? When you're watching things split in two, go underwater, come out of water, and I mean, what?
Yeah, I just don't think that.
Explain that one to me.
Until the government's going to start releasing more data, like we have these things coming in from outer space, something that's like just drop the hammer.
Well, if I see that,
like Sam Harris says, the other shoe drops. Like until they show something like that happening, and they're not going to do that though. They have no incentive to do that. Like you just said, if they have ships in their hangar, like why in the world would they go, hey, yeah, we got this gold mine in our hangars here, Russia, China, and everybody else.
I was reading an article. They'll tell you one thing, but they won't tell you like the dirty secrets or what they screwed up on or all the really gnarly stuff. But they'll give you one piece. It's like anybody that lies to a point. I'll tell you a bit of the truth, but I'm not going to tell you everything, Like here's something to make you happy and tell you the truth, but it's not giving you everything. It's just giving you a piece of it. I can see them doing that. Kind of like what they're doing now.
For what end, though?
Oh, what do you mean? To appease the masses?
I mean, to keep it under the wraps, though?
Because if you
don't talk about it?
You can't stop it now. But you can give, like, eventually they're going to have to say what it is. I mean, you can't go on forever being like, we still don't know what it is. Because right now people are like, really, you don't know what it is? 70 plus years, you don't know what it is? Come on. Like, they're being called out on it. So, and then you have people from behind the scenes going, yeah, they kind of do know. So you can't keep that up forever. Eventually, especially if they start developing programs to find out, and all the cameras we have and our technology is getting better and our satellites and all these photos. You know they have the photos, so you can't keep hiding it. There's no excuses anymore. So you're gonna have to give people something. So why not give them a piece? Like, okay, here's a satellite photo of something coming in from space, but we're not going to give you the actual craft we have, or if we do have a body, we're not going to give you that. You know?
Yeah, I don't think they would give us. I don't think they're going to give us anything slam dunk at all.
And they're going to have to eventually.
Can you
Somebody's
imagine?
going to find it.
Because
I mean, if you have NASA working on it, you got private. Say if you get private scientists working on it. I mean,
well,
I don't
then that's
know.
different. I think.
Eventually, you're going to have somebody find something.
I think that's different if you start getting like a private scientist, and
I don't know. You have to have somebody with money and access.
Yeah.
To what if Musk, man? He's got his.
I don't think he cares. Like the last time he was asked,
I think he's
he
part
was
of
just
alien.
like,
I don't think he gets.
I need to see hired cell phone footage. They're all stuck on that. And then you're talking about an advanced civilization that could potentially an advanced civilization that could come here from wherever through dimensions, and you think it's just going to be that easy to go? You know what I mean? It's like if you're gonna.
I think he's part of alien.
Maybe. I wouldn't doubt it. He's crashing Bitcoin off and on, so that's annoying.
He's too into his cars and trucks and all his rockets and everything else he's doing. You know, I'm sure he's pretty busy.
I mean,
running his
he's sending
companies.
He's sending people to space, though. I mean, that's pretty cool. So he's not going to be like, "Oh, I wonder if an alien's here." You know, like I don't care. You know,
if anything, he'll catch you by accident filming one of his, one of his rocket launchers or something.
No, I heard it was funny. Somebody said like, "Oh, he doesn't want aliens to entertain that idea because if they show up with like new propulsion and a way of getting places, it really just fucks up his company." Like, what are you gonna do now? You're making it a big deal to go to Mars, dude, and these things just came from like really far away.
Yeah,
he's just probably like, no, I hope aliens don't exist with this kind of technology, or that we're like somehow harboring a new propulsion system, and he's struggling, to find out how to get to Mars faster.
It's gonna be cool to see what it is, though.
That's why I don't believe it. I can entertain the idea for a little bit, but then once I get to a certain point, I'm kind of like, I think it's probably not
terrible.
true.
I don't know. You just go back and forth too much. I can't be in your wishy-washy mind. Drive me
nuts.
It's
60-40.
You got to
60-40.
You got to stick with a plan and go with it. I don't waver. 90%. Boom. It's done. That's it. That's where I'm at.
What would have to come out for you to be like, oh, this is a scam, or this is just government?
Not a scam anymore.
No, but what would come out that would make you go, oh, this is bullshit? Who would have to say it, or would it have to you see something?
But it's not. It's already
no. But just play the role though. Like you don't even want to go there.
I really don't know. There's too many. There's too many people and too many years and too many, very odd things that have happened for me to go like it just. So you have 70 years of a scam? No, that's not gonna. That's not feasible.
A lot of people
at this
would
point nothing. Pretty much nothing. Because I'm seeing the video of the stuff and the pilots are seeing it, and if you're a Top Gun fighter pilot, pretty legitimate. And if multiple fighter pilots are seeing some weird stuff flying around, they can't explain it. Then it's not a scam. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
Well, unless the U.S. came out and was like, "Oh, hey, we have this program, and here's this awesome thing flying." Yeah, that's when it gets a little weird. Then you'd be like, "Well, okay, where did you get this?"
I'm not just looking at since 2014. That's not when it started. It didn't start at 2004 either. It started back in like 40s and maybe even before that. So that's what I'm looking at.
Well, that's what they're looking at it from too.
Yeah, so that's where
the report.
If it was just from 2014 or just from 2004, then maybe, but it's not. So that's where it really convinces me.
But you believe Bob? You believe Bob Lazar?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not. I mean, I'm like 60% believe on him. Believable.
You got his little diagram? Did you buy it?
Yeah, I totally. I say, here, buddy.
I saw it. What was it?
Cool.
Like $89 or something like that?
Yeah.
I looked at it and then I saw that and then I was like, yeah, but then it's like
money.
If I was in California it's gas money. If I was him, I don't know if I would have done that though. Because then like now you're like, oh, you're making money off your thing.
Free, but you can only do so much. I mean, I don't know. I just think you can only do so much for free. I mean, at a certain point, yeah, okay, fine. You want to buy this? Fine. I mean, I don't know. You can't. I mean, time is money. It's still human beings. We still revolve around money. You're not a charity. Your own life, really. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really care, to be honest with you, if you make a little bit of money at that stuff. Either he's telling the truth or he's lying. and I bought a really good schizophrenic version of a UFO. Or it's the truth, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's just, I don't know. I think it's cool. I think he's believable. I mean, I don't have any reason not to believe him at this point.
No, I'm
It's just hard to wrap your mind around that. That's all.
it's just too extreme. I mean, eventually, like what'll have to
That's too
happen for
extreme.
me.
But watching a video of a little ball breaking two and going underwater is not extreme.
Well, it's just we have so much weird tech and people are practicing weird stuff.
That's not normal.
Here.
That's
Here.
not normal.
Here, no,
you
this
gotta
is
watch that Leto thing, and he said he was reading portions of the, I guess the investigation of the scientists, and they're like, it actually grew in size. It was like 107 degrees, but it grew in size, and I think it went underwater, and they came out split in two. It grew in size, split in two, and then went back underwater. I mean, and they were gauging the actual temperature of the craft by the cows, because it passed over some cows, and they actually took the temperature of the cows, because cows are a normal temperature, I think, of 90, I don't know, whatever living thing is 98 degrees. And then the thing was actually a little bit hotter, so it was like 107 degrees. It was very cool what they were able to do. I haven't read that entire report, but very cool what they were able to figure out by that. I mean, it went much more in depth than that, but basically they couldn't explain it, what it was, but it wasn't anything that people say it is. It wasn't bird, plane, animal, nothing organic that we have, nothing man-made that we have.
well,
So they ruled out all of that, and this is like a few different scientists in different areas of their field. So that was pretty. It was pretty thorough.
For me, what'll have to happen is like I need to see a video of the shit, like something above, just like zipping off. Like in a second, it's gone. It's just boom, gone.
Oh yeah, that would be
I need to
nice,
see.
right?
I need to see that, or I need to see
You think they're gonna let
something
you see
on
all that stuff
satellite
right
imagery,
now?
satellite imagery space. Well, like to your point, if somebody else was able to get a hold of the footage, or a scientist team put out like Avi Loeb, the physicist that we've
Yeah, I like him.
watched now. It seems like a really cool dude because he's like into it, and he's like, let's study it more. Let's get more data. Let's put out high sensor cameras and different sensors and different things and try to capture this stuff and see what it is.
Yeah.
Like what Neil deGrasse Tyson should be saying, or common sense person should be saying. So I think if you're able to do that, my concern is it's just going to be decades down the road again. We'll be old, dead, and we'll never, get to see any of this information, and we get kind of screwed. And then maybe our kids will find out if there's aliens. But it's like it's right on the cusp. I can taste it, but I don't think we're going to find out. I think we're screwed.
We gotta get George on here.
George, because he's seen a UFO, and some other people, and talk about it. I think we're going to be talking about this a lot.
He made the painting. I saw it. We actually roomed
He
together.
said it on the podcast. He took a picture of it.
What?
He took a picture of it and sent it to us, remember?
Yeah, he's a special effects. I'm just explaining who he is.
To people.
But he's a special effects makeup artist in LA, and we roomed together a while ago. And he had this painting, really good painter, exceptional painter. And he had this picture of this egg-shaped object flying through clouds during I think it was dusk. And I'm like, dude, what is that? And he's like, oh, I painted that years ago because when I was on an airliner, I flew. I think he was flying from Puerto Rico to here. He looked out the window and this thing just cruised by. And it looked like
painted it before.
It looked like a metallic egg, and it just flew by. And that's what he saw. But then I just read a report too about it was New Mexico or Arizona, where this cop saw a egg-shaped UFO land in the desert.
Yeah, I saw that one. And burned the ground.
So really weird. I mean, he's 100% certain he saw what he saw. And he said it just was zipped right by. It was like, okay, that was really weird. And then he went home and painted it.
I think he painted it before, actually. And he said that was the trip, is that he had painted it before, and then he actually saw it on the plane.
Oh, really?
I think we'll have to ask him.
Clarify that. That'd be even weirder if he saw
it. It would.
And he saw it in a dream and painted it, and then.
Yeah, it'd be strange.
I don't think. I don't know. That'd be even weirder.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I just need to see more evidence, and the Corbell guy is starting to drive me a little nuts. I think he's been great in so many different ways, but to me, he's like, it's starting to bridge where he's putting out videos that to him maybe they're amazing because he has data to back it up, but for everybody else, we're like, yeah, I could have filmed bus lights in my backyard from like
Yeah, but
1,000 yards away.
I'm not gonna. I mean, he's doing a pretty good job, so I'm not gonna knock him.
No, it's fine. They're all trying to do it. And if it's true, dude, all of them get like major kudos for being kick ass and cracking the
There's a
nut.
group of
You
them
know,
that are doing it. So
yeah.
hopefully-
If it's true, then those people deserve like awards and shit. But
Yeah.
if it's wrong, then they're crazy.
yeah, they're not wrong.
And that'll be like the worst. This will be one of the weirdest. It's not the same, but it's like the Russian scare in the Cold War, like McCarthyism and stuff. It's not a witch hunt. It's not the same. But what I'm saying is like the whole public, everybody gets enamored with this like one story, and everybody's like obsessed with UFOs. And if it turns out not to be true, it's gonna be really weird because everybody's gonna look like an ass, or a lot of people are gonna look like asses. And then Tyson can run for president and rule us all.
Well, the UFOs are already true. So.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking of a
What they are at this
non-human origin. Yeah, that would be most interesting. I'd take that if it was alien tech and we just had it in a hangar somewhere and we were back engineering it because we found it in an archaeological dig, like Lazar said. I'm down with that because it's still something we could experience and hopefully get implemented into daily life. You know,
I want to watch that. I want to watch that Roswell thing on Discovery.
For what it sounds like, though, nobody knows what to do with it. Everybody's like, "Yeah, that thing's light years ahead of us. We don't even know what it is yet." Like what it's made out of. It's isotopic, whatever, or at the atomic level, it's been messed with. I don't even know. So we'll see. But
very strange, though.
Yeah, we'll see. You good? Anything else you want to add before we wrap this up? Because Tim's got to get up early tomorrow and do some stuff.
I'm gonna go get on a plane.
Where are you going? Or maybe you don't want to say.
I don't think anybody cares. Florida.
Going to Florida?
Yes.
Are they having a hurricane, or they're having a hurricane?
No, they said it's not really going to be a hurricane. It may just
tropical storm
over the other side. Tropical. That'd be kind of interesting to see. I'd rather have an earthquake than a hurricane, though.
Whoops. It would be cool to be in one. I mean, not like a full-fledged hurricane, but like Joy was in. My wife was in a category 1 or 2. They were in the top of a hotel in Houston, I think it was. She said it was pretty scary. They elected not to go down because everybody was supposed to go down to like the lobby and the convention rooms and stuff to be on the ground floor. And the windows were like, the building was swaying. The windows were.
Why did they stay up there?
I don't know. I mean,
all
idea.
those buildings are windproof to a certain degree. So
yeah, I think because it was like category 1 or something. So it was like, oh, let's just see what it's like, you know. Which is, I would no way I'd do that now. Maybe if I was 20, I'd be like, oh, let's do it. But no, I'm not going to do that.
With kids, it'd be rough.
Get near the window, watch. It's going to be fun. No, it'd be stupid.
For me, I don't care, but for kids, it'd be a little freaky, I think.
What's the wind speed of a tropical storm? Is it like, will it get up to like 70 miles an hour?
I have no clue.
So that'd be kind of cool to go check out.
I think it's like 70-something miles an hour right now, or 80. I think that's
in Florida? Or you mean the hurricane?
I think it's called Elsa too.
Elsa.
Like Frozen?
Yeah. That's funny. They probably did it on purpose, though.
I don't know, but hopefully it's not. It doesn't hit. I don't really feel like dealing with a hurricane.
It's not going to hit when you're flying in, right?
No.
Because that would be shitty.
No, we're going tomorrow.
What does it do?
I don't feel like dealing with a hurricane, really. I'd rather deal with an earthquake.
When's landfall? When's landfall for the hurricane?
The hurricane, sorry.
Oh, geez, he panned. I saw a bed. Oh, God, everybody avert your eyes.
I'm smashing the corner here. I don't think I can move any angle.
I got to figure this chat out. It's pissing me off.
Yeah, I don't understand either. Let me see if I can push something.
You can't. It's all on me. And I think it's just, I don't know. I probably should use that other feature, but we'll see. You can do a chat overlay, but it's not allowing any chat to come through. It's just stuck.
But we'll have to.
And it keeps telling me I'm offline. God, go fuck yourself, stupid thing.
We'll have to get George and get Darius on.
Yeah, we'll start getting everybody on. But I guess I'll let you go. It's pretty late, so it's a good first test. I need to figure this shit out, and we'll come back, everybody, with something. No, different topics. We'll probably cover the UFO thing a lot. So if you don't like it, you might hate us. But you know,
it's kind
of fascinating right now. No, are you gonna take off your clothes? What are you doing? That's so weird. That was weird. You went for a leg. Dude, what the hell is that?
How cool is that?
That's cool. What is it?
I found it in this little like costume.
Hold it up
Halloween
again.
place.
Is it a mask?
Yeah. It's an alien mask. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's funny, the smirk on his face.
Yeah, I just saw it and I was like, that's kind of funny. I haven't seen that before.
That's when they're
But-
feeding you cupcakes.
Yeah, I figured it was kind of something fun to.
Blend in when they invade.
Yeah, whenever I get.
We didn't really get to that.
In an
We
office area,
skipped
and I can put cool stuff up.
we skipped over a lot there, but if they invaded, that would suck. But you could put that on and try to blend in, and then it looks nothing like them. That would be really funny.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
Yeah, I just have Slimer in the back there. All right.
All right, good stuff.
Well, this
Good
has been
talk.
fun.
Good talk. Yes.
Good talk. I was trying to play this again, but it won't allow me because it's like the freebie version.
We
But,
can do another one. We can do another one in Florida.
Yeah, I'll try to get clean up some of this mess that I have on here that I don't know what's going on.
'Cause it
And
might-
then
Yeah, this thing might hit.
too while the hurricane's hitting. Well, I'm sure that kind of f's up Wi-Fi a little bit, doesn't it?
Hopefully not, but I would do it then. That'd be kind of cool.
Take us to
So,
the window.
maybe. Yeah.
Palm trees swaying. It's not
Maybe
going to be shitty weather the whole time you're there, right?
No, I don't think so. I think
That would
it's gonna be
suck if it
good
was a
until-
slow-moving storm and it just stalled over you guys.
That'd be
Just
terrible.
dumped rain and wind
Great
for like
hurricane the whole
weeks.
time.
Yeah, that'd be awful. All right, I'll let you go.
All righty.
I'll play us out. Ready? You might
Great.
want to hang up before because you want to come back to you. What am
You
I
don't wanna
doing?
come back to
It'll
me?
come back to my face. Yeah, come back to the alien. All right, ciao.
Bye.
This is an emergency broadcast. This is not a test.
That name has great power over them.
It looked like a shadow, moving back and forth.
You're in a fight for your life.
And we try to help figure out, were they poisoned and such. And
So it's already mutated.
It's like standing on the edge of a black hole.
Welcome to the Dad's Doomsday Guide.